Look at them, all around you. The fools, the sheep, the willing victims. Have you ever wondered why some people rise effortlessly to positions of power, while others, perhaps more talented, more honest, more deserving, remain trapped at the bottom? Is it merely chance? Or is there something darker, something more fundamental about human nature that determines who rules and who serves? Today, we're ripping away the comfortable lies society has fed you about power, success, and human nature. And who better to guide us through this brutal reality than Niccolò Machiavelli, a man who understood power so profoundly that his name became synonymous with cunning politics. Let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. How many times have you watched incompetent people climb past you? How often have you thought, that should be me? And here's the question that really hurts. What if your very decency is the anchor dragging you down? The brutal truth, the one most are too afraid to acknowledge, is that we do not live in a meritocracy. We live in a Machiavellian playground where those who understand the rules of power thrive while idealists wither, wondering what went wrong. The greatest lie ever sold. You've been sold a fairy tale from childhood. Work hard, be honest, treat others well, and success will follow. How laughable. Look around you. Is that really how the world works? Machiavelli saw humans without illusion. He recognized what most refuse to see, that power operates by entirely different principles than those taught in your school's character education program. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. These aren't the words of a monster. They're the observations of a man who refused to deceive himself about human nature. While others indulged in fantasy about how humans should behave, Machiavelli focused on how they actually do behave. And how do they behave? Like self-interested creatures who respond more reliably to fear than to kindness, who remember harms more vividly than benefits, who profess virtue while practicing vice. Are you disgusted yet? Or are you finally recognizing the world as it truly exists? The fool's paradise. Let's be brutally honest about the fools who populate our world. They believe their hard work will be recognized without self-promotion. They think fairness governs human organizations. They expect loyalty from others while power shifts. They confuse what should be with what is. And the greatest folly of all, they judge Machiavellian strategies as evil while benefiting from the stability and order that such strategies create. The fool says, "This is wrong, people shouldn't manipulate others for gain." Meanwhile, the Machiavellian prince thinks, your moral indignation is precisely what makes you so predictable and so useful. Does that statement make you uncomfortable? Good. Discomfort is the beginning of awakening. The three players in every power game, in any organization, in any social structure, there exist three types of people. The princes, those who understand power and actively shape it to their advantage. They see the chessboard of human interaction and plan several moves ahead. They don't just play the game, they define it. The courtiers, those who recognize power dynamics but lack either the courage or capability to become princes themselves. They attach themselves to power, riding its currents, gaining some benefits but always remaining dependent. The fools, those who remain oblivious to the very existence of power games. They believe in systems of merit, fairness, and justice that simply do not exist as advertised. They work diligently within rules designed to contain them, wondering why others advance while they stagnate. Which are you? Be honest with yourself. Your answer explains everything about your current position in life. Most watching this video are firmly in the third category. You work hard, you play nice, you follow instructions, and you're confused about why you remain exactly where you started, while others, often less competent, soar past you. The painful reality is that your moral code, the one that prizes honesty, transparency, and cooperation above all, isn't universal. It's a brilliant system of control disguised as virtue. Does that realization anger you? It should. Anger is often the first honest emotion on the path to clarity. The psychology of power versus the psychology of fools. What truly separates those who attain power from those who don't? It isn't intelligence. Some of the most brilliant minds languish in obscurity. It isn't education. Many highly educated people remain powerless. It isn't even ambition alone. Plenty of ambitious people fail spectacularly. The fundamental difference is this: those who acquire power see humans as they are, deeply flawed, predictable, and driven primarily by self-interest, and they adapt their strategies accordingly. The fool insists, "People should be better than this." The Machiavellian prince responds, "People are exactly like this, and I will navigate accordingly." Machiavelli wasn't teaching evil, he was teaching reality. He understood that power doesn't conform to our childish wishes. We must conform to its nature. Think about how often you've been told to just be yourself, or to stand by your principles no matter what. Noble-sounding advice, isn't it? But ask yourself, who benefits when you remain rigidly principled in a flexible world? Who gains advantage when you telegraph your every thought and intention? Not you. Never you. The fools are those who bring moral certainty to power struggles, then act surprised when they are outmaneuvered by those willing to adapt. The Machiavellian arsenal for rising above mediocrity. What would Machiavelli advise for rising above the masses in today's world? Let me offer some uncomfortable insights that might disturb you, but could also transform your prospects. 1. Cultivate strategic opacity. While fools proudly announce their every thought and intention, the powerful understand that transparency is a weakness to be exploited. Not everything needs to be shared. Not every thought needs expression. Mystery creates leverage. How much are you revealing unnecessarily? How often do you broadcast your intentions before securing your position? 2. Master the art of calculated generosity. The fool gives consistently and predictably. The prince gives strategically and memorably. A perfectly timed favor creates more loyalty than consistent small kindnesses that become expected. The impact of generosity lies not in its frequency, but in its precision. Are you diluting your influence through constant, unremarkable giving? Or are you maximizing impact through strategic timing? 3. Embrace controlled unpredictability. Complete predictability creates vulnerability. Those who always react the same way are easily manipulated. The brilliant move is to establish clear principles while maintaining tactical flexibility. Others should understand your values, but never be entirely certain of your next move. This creates respect tinged with healthy caution. How easily can others predict your reactions? How often are you manipulated precisely because people know exactly how you'll respond? 4. Understand that perception trumps reality. The fool believes results speak for themselves. The prince ensures results speak with the right voice to the right audience. Your achievements matter less than how they're perceived by those with power to elevate you. Managing perception isn't dishonesty. It's ensuring your value is properly recognized rather than overlooked. Are you assuming your contributions are being accurately assessed, or are you actively shaping how they're perceived? 5. Build your fortress before the war. The fool seeks allies only when threatened. The prince builds networks of obligation and loyalty during times of strength. Your relationships should be cultivated systematically, not desperately or randomly. Every connection should serve a potential purpose in your broader strategy. Are you creating alliances proactively or reactively? Are you waiting for crisis before building support? The moral question: can good people use Machiavellian methods? Now we arrive at the intersection that makes most people abandon this knowledge. Can you use these principles while maintaining your integrity? Here's the uncomfortable truth that might shock you. The most ethical application of power often requires Machiavellian thinking. If your goals are worthy, if you truly aim to create something valuable, protect those you care about, or advance important ideas, then refusing to understand power dynamics doesn't make you virtuous. It makes you ineffective. The fool believes purity of method equals purity of outcome. The prince understands that navigating corrupt systems sometimes requires tactical flexibility without corruption of purpose. Consider this troubling question. Would you rather have ethical people refuse to understand power, leaving it entirely in the hands of the unscrupulous? Or would you prefer that those with conscience also possess strength? The greatest tragedy isn't watching bad people succeed. It's watching good people fail because they believe goodness alone is sufficient. It never has been. It never will be. The 5 steps to rising above the sea of fools. If you're still with me, if you haven't closed this video in moral outrage, then you're ready for the practical application. Here are the 5 steps to rising in a world dominated by fools. Step 1. Conduct a merciless self-assessment. Most people overestimate their strategic thinking. They believe they see power dynamics clearly while missing the most fundamental patterns. Be brutally honest. Where are you naive? Where are you predictable? Where do your emotional reactions override your strategic interests? The fool never questions their perception. The prince constantly tests it against reality. Step 2. Map the actual power structure, not the formal one. Every organization has an official hierarchy and an actual one. The fool follows the organizational chart. The prince identifies who truly influences decisions regardless of title, who can say no without explanation, who gets consulted before major decisions, whose approval is sought even when unnecessary. These are the real power centers. Are you navigating the formal structure while missing the informal one that actually determines outcomes? Step 3. Become necessary before seeking authority. The fool demands power before proving value. The prince becomes indispensable first, making their rise both inevitable and unresented. Identify critical problems that others fear or avoid. Solve them visibly. Create dependencies that work in your favor. Are you demanding recognition before creating undeniable value? Or are you building leverage through genuine contribution? Step 4. Master strategic visibility. The fool either hides completely or seeks constant attention. The prince is visible at key moments to key people. Your victories should be witnessed by those with the power to advance you. Your process should demonstrate both competence and character. Your struggles should be overcome privately unless revealing them serves a strategic purpose. Are you invisible when you should be seen, or seeking attention when you should be building substance? Step 5. Develop unshakable emotional discipline. The fool is reactive. The prince is responsive. Nothing undermines power faster than emotional volatility. Nothing cements it more firmly than emotional self-command. You must be the most composed person in every crisis, the most measured voice in every conflict. Do you allow others to determine your emotional state, or do you maintain sovereignty over your responses regardless of provocation? The crossroads. Fool or prince? Some watching this will reject these principles entirely. You'll call them cynical, manipulative, or amoral. You'll continue believing the world rewards virtue automatically, and you'll continue being bewildered by your results. Others will embrace these principles too completely. You'll discard all moral consideration, becoming not a strategic prince but a common tyrant, ultimately destroyed by your own excesses. The wisest among you will find the middle path, understanding power without being corrupted by it, developing strength without sacrificing principle, seeing humans clearly without losing your humanity. This is true Machiavellian mastery, not crude manipulation but sophisticated navigation of human systems with both effectiveness and purpose. The question isn't whether you'll operate in a world defined by power dynamics. You already do, whether you recognize it or not. The question is whether you'll do so blindly or with clear vision. The ultimate decision: remain a fool or rise to power. We've reached the moment of decision, and it's one only you can make. Will you continue believing comfortable fairy tales about how the world works? Will you keep wondering why less capable people rise while you remain stagnant? Will you maintain your rigid idealism while sacrificing your potential impact? Or will you embrace the uncomfortable truths that have guided the powerful throughout history? The choice seems obvious, yet most will choose comfort over clarity, illusion over power. They'll nod in agreement with these principles, then continue acting exactly as they did before. Will you be different? Will you have the courage to see clearly and act decisively? If this video has shaken your comfortable assumptions, if it's made you question the rules you've been playing by, then smash that subscribe button now. Like and share it with others who need this wake-up call. Remember, in a world of fools, the one who understands power doesn't just survive, they reshape reality itself. The question isn't whether you can afford to think like Machiavelli, it's whether you can afford not to. Until next time, observe keenly, act deliberately, and leave foolishness to those who can afford its luxury.